So, what's the best class in Outriders, you might ask? Don't worry about that. I actually got you guys. Deep dove into all these classes, got them all up to level 7, which is the current maximum in the demo. And I'll be ranking them from worst to best towards the later half of the video. Now, quick disclaimer, just understand that all these classes are only at level 7 and it's not indicative of what they will be towards the later half of the game, during in-game and whatnot. So, with that out the way, let's start this off with the Technomancer. Alright, so the Technomancer. I think the Technomancer is the class that I'm the most surprised about. Not because I thought it was going to be bad, but because I genuinely didn't think that the early game skills would be as good as they are. There is massive amounts of CC on this class between the cryo turret, the paint launcher, the Simtex Claymore type situation you have going on with that gadget. All of that on top of the cryo slam and cryo melee. It just screams CC, crowd control. The class excels at long range, as you can imagine. As long as you're not in the fray, you should be doing crazy amounts of damage. You should be helping out your team. This class is the best support, and if you're running by yourself, I would say, like you see it on screen right now, that because of the CC, it's probably the best lone wolf class. That is honestly my take on it. I know the devs said the same thing, but they're not always right. Not to mention healing, just doing damage, like that's absolutely amazing. A lot of healing in this game is kind of sketch, but as it sits right now, Technomancer probably has the best of that world. So yeah, man, don't sleep on the Technomancer. Alright, so the Pyromancer. The Pyromancer, to my surprise, actually ended up being a support style class, as we have it right now, level 7 in the demo. Just keep that in mind. Yeah, it ended up being a support class. So when I say support, I don't mean like the traditional how the Technomancer is with the mines and the CC and the group healing. Not like that. This class is more or less a aggressive style support. So if you need any enemies, any elites, any bosses popped out of cover, the Pyromancer excels at that. Anytime that you need to do damage on a target or prioritize a target, the Pyromancer is going to be there to pop them out of cover. So if you want to play support but you don't want to be the designated healer, kind of how I feel like the Technomancer is going to fall into, and you want to be that aggressive style support, the Pyromancer is definitely the class for you. So next up we have the Devastator. The Devastator is the 24/7 in your face, all the time type class. I'm gonna just start this off by saying this is the tank. The survivability is at 100%. Survivability is on maximum. Survivability is at all-time high when it comes to the Devastator. As long as you got a few skills off cooldown, you should be good to go. Get in or out of whatever situation you want to. You don't really need a whole lot of help from other classes. You don't even really need a whole lot of healing. Just pop one of those invincibility moves and you're good to get in there. And with that being said, close range combat, as you guys can see, Devastator excels in that. Shotguns, legendary shotguns, automatic shotguns, all of those are going to be highly favored by this class. Usually when people think about tanks, they think, oh, soaks up a lot of damage and dishes not really too much. But in this case, Devastator is a powerhouse. It has enough crowd control and enough damage in these abilities to be able to hold its own. If you want to be the center of attention, just pick the Devastator. So last but not least, we got the Trickster. The Trickster is, quite simply put, the assassin of the game. It's the high damage, low health, get in, get out kind of gameplay with this one. And when I say that, I really mean that, because the mobility in the class is best in the game. You can always drop behind bosses, teleport in and out behind enemies, and always have the upper hand. This is the highest damaging class in the game as of right now. It has true one-shot potential with the temporal slice. Things just get deleted in front of the Trickster all the time. It's probably going to be best friends with ARs, SMGs, and shotguns, just because of the variety of different locations that you could be in at any given time. It doesn't have the worst survivability in the game, But outside of your teleport and your bubble, that's pretty much all you got. It does best usually when all eyes aren't on the Trickster itself. Alright, so let's get to ranking them, guys, the moment you've all been waiting for. And I'm sure it comes to no surprise to anybody who's played the demo so far that the Pyromancer is unfortunately in the number 4 spot. In the game, it says that it's a medium range fighter, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense in the current game to me, because all of the enemies either rush you or they're sitting behind cover, so there's never really going to be a good moment for the Pyromancer to pop off. The healing factor is super situational. Enemies have to be marked by your flames. It's just not a really good class as it sits right now. Maybe in the full game it might show its true colors, but as of right now it's going to hit that number 4 spot. So in the number 3 spot we got the Technomancer. Like I said earlier in the video, it has crazy amounts of CC, the most forgiving healing factor in the game simply by doing damage. This is your support. The only thing that's holding the Technomancer back as of right now is the fact that it's not doing as much damage as the next 2 classes, so I had to drop it in the number 3 spot. So in that number 2 spot we got the Devastator. This class, like I said before, is the tank. Sustainability through the roof, and it has damage on top of that. It's not one of those regular pushover tank class that don't do any damage but takes all the damage in the world. The Devastator is in control of everything going on the battlefield. Played correctly, you probably will never die. Alright, in that number 1 spot we got the Trickster. The Trickster had to be number 1. The damage is just way too crazy. If you're in a bad spot, teleport out. If they rush you, put them in a space bubble. The Trickster is at 100% advantage all the time as it stands in the demo right now. So I'm sorry to all you Pyromancer mains, sorry to all you Devastator mains, but the Trickster comes out on top. So guys, this is my list. If you liked it and enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe. I'll be hitting you with some more Outrider videos pretty soon.